It is a happy hour walk in San Francisco on Saturday. I'm writing a big piece about the Trey Lance situation and the 49ers strategy right now in athletics. So I've been holed up in the office and at the coffee shops typing away here for a little bit. Before it gets dark on this cool August evening, I wanted to walk around a little bit. I was just up at Dolores Park here in the Mission. Here, maybe I could take you guys to the corner so you could see a little bit of Dolores Park. The problem right now is that it's really windy, so I don't want to go to this exposed area, but it's a party in the city on this Saturday afternoon. I'm just going to try to stay a little bit closer to buildings so it doesn't get as windy for the camera and the microphone. But a quick peek here. I'm not going to talk for a few seconds because it's going to be really windy. There you go. That was Dolores Park, and I'm gonna hide behind some of these buildings. It's probably funny. I'm sure that a lot of you watching right now are probably in places where it's 90 to 100 degrees because it's August. They call it Fogust in San Francisco. It's probably the coldest feeling month of the year. As Mark Twain said, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Anyway, the 49ers' attention needs to start shifting now, very quickly. It's time to pay Nick Bosa. Got 15 days until the season opener in Pittsburgh. They've jettisoned Trey Lance. They've freed up some important 2024 cap space just for general purposes. $6.3 million total between this year and next for the 49ers, freed up by trading Trey Lance. It doesn't have a direct impact on the negotiations with Nick Bosa because those had already been budgeted, but in the bigger picture, it should help the 49ers operate. They've needed to trim fat, especially for 2024, because that's the year with all the liabilities already racked up. That's the year during which money does need to be freed up for Nick Bosa and other business. The 49ers are already over what the projected cap for 2024 is going to be. Over the cap, even with a bullish estimate, estimates a $256 million salary cap in 2024. The 49ers under contract have $263 million in liabilities. It was $270 or so before they cleared Trey Lance off the books for next season. So focus now has to go in that direction for Nick Bosa. And I'll talk about some of the dynamics that might be in play as I walk down 19th Street. Look at the architecture in San Francisco. It really is a special city. This is Dolores Heights above the Mission District. But, every single building's got its own color. And then, you could really get away from the heat in the summer. I go out to training camp practice, it's 90 degrees, and I come back here. I could just chill for a bit. So what's the holdup with Nick Bosa? Well, I liken it to a game of chicken. It's a negotiation. Each side is going to want to end this negotiation on its own terms. So they're driving toward each other, and then the person who swerves first is the one who loses the game of chicken. Right now, if neither side swerves, they both hurt each other. They crash. And if Nick Bosa doesn't play week one, well, he hurts himself by losing out on a game check. He's got $17.9 million scheduled to come his way this year. So if he doesn't sign a deal before week one and he doesn't play, then he loses 1/18 of that $17.9 million. So essentially $1 million per week. If the 49ers don't make something happen, well, then they lose Nick Bosa. They don't have the production of the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year. So it's in the interest of both sides to get this done, to swerve out of the way, make sure they don't crash by week one. Both sides need to start swerving. Both sides need to take evasive action right now to make sure that this holdout doesn't last until week one. But Nick Bosa deserves to be handsomely rewarded. I don't know if the holdup is the 49ers not wanting to pay him Aaron Donald money, or maybe Nick Bosa is trying to develop enough of a gap between him and Aaron Donald to distance himself from what Chris Jones might want to sign, because Chris Jones is holding out right now too. The whole Aaron Donald thing broke a lot of the scale that we're working with, because normally you just look at edge rusher contracts within the context of other edge rusher contracts, but Aaron Donald's a defensive tackle who surpassed everybody. So now Chris Jones is a defensive tackle who, is up there in that Aaron Donald tier. He has 2 Super Bowl titles to his name. Now Chris Jones, who's holding out, might want Aaron Donald type of money, or if you will, Nick Bosa type of money when it's time for him to sign. So I don't know if that's creating a little bit of an impasse in the Nick Bosa situation, but it is big money that's being dealt with. The 49ers are in a very tight salary cap situation. Freeing up the $6.3 million via the Trey Lance trade was necessary for the 49ers in their longer-term cap outlook, and I think that they're just trying to drive as hard of a bargain as possible to make sure they could keep this roster sustainable for as long as possible. Whereas Nick Bosa, hopefully for his sake, he has another chance to cash out after this contract. Every NFL player would like to sign multiple big deals after their rookie contract, but you just never know. You want to cash out with as much money as possible when the stove is hot. So he has every right to sit down and stare down the 49ers in a game of chicken during this negotiation. It truly is a heavyweight fight right now in this negotiation with Nick Bosa. Man, was this breaking up? I'm sorry. Didn't mean for it to be breaking up. I think the satellites probably got us. You guys hearing me right now or no? Let me know. I'll show you a little bit more of the city. I thought that the cell service would be good here in Northern California. We're in the technology center of the world, but the cell service didn't quite do it. Because I'm not seeing many chat messages, which is frustrating for me. I'm gonna walk back up this way. Yeah, now people are logging off because we don't have good enough service. Well, that's frustrating. Maybe I just record a standalone video that's not live. These street lives, these were fun. We did a lot of these last year. Tesla's got a wireless network now. I'm gonna cross the street here. I can see the chat like every 5 minutes. It just rapid fires me. Good, I'm coming back in. I'm glad, but I lost like 100 of you. That's too bad. I thought that we had enough good reception here. I guess I gotta find a different spot to do it. Okay, so it's better on this side of the road. Thought that we would, I'm just working really hard writing today. I didn't want to just be sitting in the office all day, so I wanted to walk around and do the live from the street. Unfortunately, I pay for my attempted good deed. I should go to the driverless taxi next time. It's happy hour in San Francisco, but as you guys know, I'm on 75 days of no drinking. All right, give me a few questions now that it's better on this side of the street. Maybe I'll cross Guerrero here. It's gonna get a little bit busier though with the traffic. So it's just the wrong side of the street, we're good. Questions about the 49ers, questions about Nick Bosa. If there was something that didn't come through because it was cutting out, I'm sorry. And I could say it again, but smash the like button and ask some questions. I think that's the way to do it right now. I got a green light. I'm gonna cross Guerrero. It'd be funny if somebody's watching me while they're driving and they're like, oh, there's the guy that's live crossing the street. There is no Bosa news other than John Lynch said he's still confident it'll get done by week 1, but we only have 15 days until the season opener in Pittsburgh. The 49ers need to turn all attention to that right now. That's the key. Of course, I think the 49ers have a shot at winning the Super Bowl. They've got a good roster and a good quarterback in Brock Purdy. It is windy. Wow. August in San Francisco, like I said. It's refreshing, that's for sure. Uh-oh, I don't want to get run over here. Made it across. I don't think the 49ers are going to go to Robbie Gould quite yet because at this point, I don't think they've punted on Jake Moody for the season. I think that he's hurt, and so is Zane Gonzalez. I think they'll carry Moody on the 53. I don't think Robbie Gould wants to sign with the 49ers just to be a placeholder until Jake Moody is back. It's too early to be discussing if the 49ers can afford Brandon Ayuk next year. We need to see what Nick Bosa's contract structure is going to look like. We need to see how the team performs in 2023, and we need to see how Brandon Ayuk performs this year before we know what the 49ers are going to need exactly for him. Why not sign Robbie? Well, we know the 49ers are already short on money as it is. Robbie would have some leverage right now, don't you think, if the 49ers walked up to him while everybody was hurt? Both kickers hurt. Hey, Robbie, sorry about it. He'd be like, okay, hand me $5 million. 49ers don't have $5 million to spend right now. So they saved with the Trey Lance trade for 2024, and that's money they need to keep saved for the time being, because they need to cut the expenditures in 2024 to make sure that they don't go into cap hell after this season. Talanoa Hufanga does have what do they call it? Some kind of cyst in his knee. There's a fear from one of the doctors, David Chow, one of the online Twitter doctors. He's an actual doctor. I don't mean that disparagingly. He actually does tweet about sports medicine. He said that the type of cyst that Talanoa Hufanga has can be related to meniscus damage, which obviously would require surgery. He didn't say definitively is connected to that, but definitely something that's a Baker's cyst. Yeah, something that's definitely raised concerns. Now, Kyle Shanahan didn't seem worried about it at all. He said that Hufanga's getting a PRP, platelet-rich plasma injection, and he should be back within a couple days. Bosa was visiting some friends in New York, huh? Maybe his agent's one of his friends. I saw Bosa was in Hudson Yards in New York, which is that new development over on the west side of Midtown. Let's let those questions roll in. I see the crowd is picking up. Biggest position of concern entering week one? For me, I thought that the offensive line actually played really well yesterday. You saw clean sheets from both Jalen Moore and Matt Pryor, who are the 49ers' backup offensive linemen, so that was fine. I'm more worried about slot cornerback now. Isaiah Oliver is having trouble covering people. So much that they've said, okay, we're going to move Diamador Lenore in to cover these slot receivers. I mean, Demo, he's an outside corner by trade. That's where he's been specializing. Nickel is a really specialized position where you've got some of the best receivers in the league, especially in the NFC West, at that slot position, facing you. Cooper Kupp from the Rams, Tyler Lockett from the Seahawks. 49ers are going to have to put on their big boy pants to make sure those guys are covered. What Jimmy Ward did last year, moving over to nickel, I thought was really, really impressive. He was out of position, but he got the job done. K'Wan Williams was the man before him. 49ers don't have either of those two guys. They're going to have to be better at that nickelback spot. Sorry. It's really clean here in San Francisco. This is, parts of the Mission, you could tell. It's a beautiful kind of golden hour city. And it's not that golden today because that fog is coming over the hills. Who wins week one? 49ers Pittsburgh? I haven't made my prediction yet. Prediction will come in time. This is 20th Street in the Mission, and that's Valencia down there. Yeah, the Mission has some really, really good food. It is. It's windy. Like I said, the coldest summer that Mark Twain ever spent was the coldest winter Mark Twain ever spent was the summer in San Francisco. Look what I got on. I'm sure there's people in 100-degree weather right now or close to it somewhere. The defense is really different without Bosa. We saw it in 2020. If you looked at the advanced metrics, they lost like 12 expected points per game without Bosa. I would say the defense could be 2 scores worse per game without Nick Bosa. La Taqueria, 25th and Mission, gets the shout out from Mike Marino. Where should I go to dinner? Taqueria Cancun? I got it still right. So be sure to tune into The Athletic, subscribe to it, and just be on my Twitter or be on my videos because I'm going to be writing a big, big piece. Sorry that it's so windy. And I'm writing it right now about Trey Lance and the 49ers' emphasis on cap sustainability. I think this will be insightful about what went down with Trey Lance and the 49ers' overarching philosophy throughout that entire experiment. 98 in Sacramento, see, I told you. Seem to be a lot of people coming on this side of the street. I'm gonna cross over here, answer a few more of your questions. Give me a second. See, I'm safe. I check for the traffic before I cross. There's Valencia behind us. It's perfect in San Diego as always. You know, I really like the climate in San Francisco too. It's obviously cooler, but it is nice to have a little bit of a break from the heat. Who I like behind McCaffrey, both Jordan Mason and Ty Davis Price, I thought ran the ball really well yesterday. This is the thing, and let me know if you're having trouble hearing me because of the wind, but this is the thing. The NFL has generally gotten smaller defensively. I mean, guys are lighter, they're faster. It's turned into more of a speed league. So the 49ers, when they deploy these 225 to 230 pound bruisers and Jordan Mason and Ty Davis Price, I mean, they have some running style similarities to Marshawn Lynch, right? They just start busting out people's mouth guards. You can see that comparative advantage. I thought that they both inflicted a lot of punishment yesterday. Both guys ran really well. So obviously Elijah Mitchell is, I think, the 49ers' second best back behind McCaffrey, just as far as complete back speed for when they want to run outside zone. Mitchell too, I mean, he can dish out some contact, but the problem is he does have that injury history, and it is recurring. His adductor was a little tight. That's why he didn't play again on Friday. So I like both Ty Davis Price and Jordan Mason as runners. Mason's got to hold on to the football. He can't fumble like he did. And there's been some pass protection concerns with Davis Price. I don't think they were nearly as pronounced in the game yesterday, though. LeBourne got waived. They cut him. Gave him a head start at finding a job elsewhere. Yeah, I'm not sketched out by walking around San Francisco. I really do love the city. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what are you doing there? But I live here, and it's a good time. Adductor is like, it's not abductor, it's adductor, ADDUCTORS. It is a core muscle. I don't want to walk to Valencia because there's going to be way too many people, and you guys won't be able to hear me. There's a lot of people like out on the street and stuff having dinner. So I'm kind of I'm circling here at the same block as I talk to you before I head back home. I mean, Bosa does have some leverage. There's no question about that. I don't have a prediction for Stanford football. I'm not really following that much this year. Let's walk down here toward Valencia. Show you guys what's going on. We're on 20th right now. Yeah. 20th and Valencia. There's so much good food in the Mission. Seriously. So much cool architecture in San Francisco too. You can see up here. So it looks like they shut down Valencia to traffic, which is pretty neat. Yeah, this is like your Saturday evening setup. It's just gonna be really damn windy when I walk here through this open park. I like to hide behind some of the buildings. I mean, how concerned am I about the kicking situation? I'd be really concerned about the kicking situation because you should be concerned just because there's a rookie involved. You never know how good he's going to be, as you saw in the first preseason game. And then two, now he's hurt. And then his backup got hurt during the warm-ups yesterday. So if the 49ers had a play right now, they wouldn't have a healthy kicker to turn to, which is why Mitch Wishnowsky was shanking extra points the other day. It is a concern, and they got to figure out a plan for week one. Absolutely. Championship team does need those kicks. All right, it's about to get really windy, so I'm not going to talk here for a second. People having a good time, a little soccer field. They're trying to get a little live concert started here. Kyle Shanahan should not be on the hot seat for anything right now. It's all about the big picture, and he's built a nice roster with John Lynch. Again, show me a team that has a perfect draft record, and I'll show you a team that does not exist. That's just... Am I considering getting a stick to hold my phone? No, I have too much dignity to have a selfie stick. But I can switch hands. See? I think my arm's gotten stronger over the time that I've been doing these little selfie videos. Feels stronger, at least. Do I think the 49ers will move on? I just totally move on from somebody. I think they're going to sign a practice squad kicker. I think that's the way that the 49ers are going to do things. Practice squad kicker for this football team. Because that way they can have flexibility and activate him for week 1 or week 2 if Jake Moody's not ready. Now, they're going to reevaluate this in a couple days. So, guys, this is a really good sandwich spot right here. This place, Reyes. I've actually posted a couple videos with really good sandwiches from here. So check it out. I don't know if the sandwich shop, I think the sandwich shop is closed, but check it out in the Mission. Good little wine bar. City is buzzing this happy hour. It's all good. Yeah, Reyes is sweet. North Beach is pretty cool. I've done a live from there before last season. All right, guys, I'm about to head home. I'm sorry if I didn't see some of your chats, but I'm literally walking around San Francisco. So just get me next time when I'm sitting by a computer, and we'll go from there. We're also losing lighting, which isn't good. Because you guys won't be able to see me all too well. I could go down one of these back streets though and say bye. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Hopefully it won't be too windy. 49ers are a sustainable team. Yes, I'm writing about that right now. So make sure you check that out on The Athletic tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure. The injuries aren't serious to the kickers, but they currently can't kick, which is a little bit of an issue because when you have a kicker, you would like for him to be able to kick. All right, we're gonna go down this little dark alley. It's not an alley, it's just a back street. I think Brock Purdy's the real deal. I mean, he looked really good yesterday over those 2 drives. He just has that confidence. He exudes presence. That's what you want at the quarterback position. And then he just needs to play point guard for the 49ers. I think we're going to do Taqueria Cancun for dinner, but I first have to write. I want to finish this article, so I'm heading back home. All right, guys, everybody, good night. Thanks for all your great questions. It is time for me to sign off and go get some good food. So we'll see you very soon. And check out Taqueria Cancun. Those are the best burritos around here. And Reyes. We went by Reyes, which was pretty neat. Everybody take care.